Hey guys, welcome back to Form of Therapy. This is the Culture Study. I'm the channel's video producer and your host. You can call me PD. And today we're checking out Sera Sera by ILY. This is ILY's first comeback, and I'm excited because I really loved their debut. Y'all know I love checking out rookie groups. I love checking out the new groups, even ones from smaller labels. But for ILY especially, I was excited because I watched Girls Planet, and several of the members on ILY participated in Girls Planet 999. And so I really wanted to see what kind of talent, what kind of groups would be coming out of there, because a lot of the groups that came out of previous produced shows have all been really strong and interesting. And so far, based on their debut, I really liked it, but I got to see more. And so that's why we're here for Sera Sera. I know I'm a bit late. I have been dealing with COVID and I was on a bit of a break, but we're back. And I can't wait to see what they have to show for us this time. Now, before we get into today's video real quick, guys, if you want to support the channel, Patreon is the best place to do so. If you don't know what Patreon is, real quick, you can check out bonus reactions over there. It's where we upload our reactions to things like listening parties for artists' albums, or also watch K-dramas, react to survival shows like Girls Planet, react to idol variety content. We have a whole bunch of content. We have a schedule posted on our Patreon that you can go check out. That schedule is available for free. So if anything interests you, come check it out over on our channel. Of course, you don't have to support us monetarily if you don't want to. You could just simply hit the like button down below and subscribe down below. It would help us out tremendously. All right, let's get into the video. This is Sera Sera by ILY, and this is your form of therapy. Sorry, I have like something on my monitor. Let's see. Ooh, exact same production style, slightly different vibe, but exact same production style as their debut song. Ooh, hold on. Ooh, wow. This chorus is really strong. Wow. Did Rona always have a lot of lines? I feel like she had a lot of screen time this time. Whoa. Wow. 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 I really, really enjoyed that. Sera Sera is in similar vein to Love and Bloom. They definitely share the same kind of. I mean, they're the same artist, right? But they definitely share the same space. But they're both pop. They both kind of lean into um, some emotional notes in both songs. Both 사랑아 피어라 and 케세라세라. Now that you listen to that chorus, it has that very um, retro 80s top line. I think the song that like most commonly replicates it is Snooper's song, Platonic Love. That na 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 na, like that kind of top line. I'm always game for that. It was very, very beautiful. It's honestly a older song. The way that it's written, the way that it's styled, it feels more like something you would have seen come out in 2015 or 2018. That's not necessarily a bad thing. And I think especially with talk singing, a lot of talk shouting now, becoming more commonplace in K-pop, I think there's definitely a market for people who are hungering for vocal only K-pop groups. And ILY1 has done that 2 tracks in a row now. They're saying we're not going to be that type of a group. We have a certain sound. They're going back to the early days of GFriend, Lovelies, those type of very pure romance type of girl groups. And so I like it, but I will be. I want to watch this again because I do like the song and I'd like to hear it again. But the music video, I think they actually did a fine job. I think they did a fine job, but I will be nitpicking. Nothing about this was bad. There was like one section that definitely did stick out as being like, ooh, that looked rough. But like, other than that, like, I don't necessarily think there were any mistakes. It was more so like we're in the second watch through, we're gonna be going over more like how could they have made this better, right? So because I will say the only criticism I really have for ILY1 is I think they're in a small label, and that's not even a criticism. It's like they don't have enough money, they don't have enough of a budget, but the talent, the skills, the singing, the producing, whoever their A&R team is, I think they do a really good job with ILY1 sound. You know, ILY1 may not be the most biggest popping group right now, but from my experience, I have a lot of different fandoms always demanding stuff from me or asking me to check out stuff. And the ILY1 fandom seems extremely passionate about ILY1. I really took notice of that. And so, yeah, just something to note. But let's go ahead and watch this again. So, okay, actually, one thing I want to say about these girls. I forgot to compliment these girls. I really only knew like Didika, and I had to learn Rona's name, but like they were the two that I really only knew going into this or was familiar with. And like I primarily came for Didika, if we're being honest, right? But these girls, I loved every single one of them in their debut. Every single one of them stood out to me. And oftentimes, when it's been like, say, like half a year since their debut or their comeback or whatever, especially if it's a fresh group, I don't recognize members, I don't recognize people. And I might be like, oh, who's that one? And they're like, hey, PD, you liked them last time. Of course you would like them again this time. But every single member is memorable. I remember what I liked about every single member in the previous comeback. I think everyone here stands out a lot. That's something I wanted to just say about this group. Like the moment I saw this girl right here, I don't think had pink hair in the previous comeback. I know it was some kind of dark hair color. Immediately recognized her just because of her face. and also her singing. Everyone's acting is really good. I remember her. I love these two. I don't know their names. I think it's about time to learn. Okay. So I really want to compliment this team. Again, I'm not criticizing this video. I can see good filmmaking even if it's cheap. And I can see bad filmmaking even if it's expensive. And this, in idea and theory and honestly even execution, this was all very well done. This setup and this scene right here, like I said, budgeting was clearly an issue for this video. Often you don't want to shoot outside without a light source, especially for a major K-pop video. It gives the video a rather flat look, just because there's really only one giant light source that's hitting everyone. It can look more cinematic when you cause like an overcast of shadow, but that's not what they're going for with this video. If you look at it, it's that digital K-pop look. If people have ever asked, what is the K-pop look? This is the K-pop look. Bright, vibrant, saturated colors, very crisp digital look, sometimes even 60 frames. But yeah, it's not meant to look like a film. It's not meant to look cinematic. And so it's just because, well, to shoot outside and with that many girls and a set this big, you would need a giant scrim, or you would need such a big crew to put that together. And honestly, like a scrim's really easy, but I think like if people are producing this and they're not, I guess they haven't done like all aspects of production like I have, they might not know that like a scrim is really easy to pull off. And yeah, I would say a scrim would have been nice over this entire music video. Just it's basically like a giant blanket. Just imagine like a giant white blanket that's placed over them, and it blocks out the sun, or at least softens the lighting on that. So then a music video that's actually a good example of outdoor lighting that you guys can check out is Youngjae's latest comeback, Sugar, and also Adora's Trouble Travel video. In fact, they might be... I don't know if this is the exact same village that they shot in, but they all shoot in like these very similar villages. And I think there are actually good avenues for studying filmmaking. It's like, hey, you have the same location. Look at how these different K-pop groups shot here. I think MCND is not overshot there maybe as well. But I really wanted to compliment this team then because, okay, you're shooting in this village and they could have just set these girls up here. But one, they had great art design and set design, and they really had a vision for the girls' music video, but also the concept for these girls. That's also something I'm noticing too. Like, they did this exact same setup in their first music video. And it's not giving me the impression of, oh, they're just reusing props because they don't have money. It feels like, oh, there's some kind of a strong thematic tie here. I don't quite know what it is, honestly, but maybe if like they've talked about their lore, or if they've talked about like their mission statement or whatever, maybe that gives more insight into, you know, what they're going for necessarily. So I will say if that is a point of critique, it would be like, I don't technically know what their concept is. And it's not obvious is what I'm saying off the bat. You know, I'm not saying it has to be obvious. I'm just saying it's not obvious. It'd be nice if it was obvious. But I do see that there is a concept, and I think they do a really good job with that. And I think the team, this could have looked really empty. Just imagine this set, guys, how cheap this video would have looked. Imagine if all this foliage, all these fake trees, and even like these stands, I was gonna call them bodegas. They're not bodegas, right? Whatever. I don't know the word for whatever these lemonade stand looking things are, but just adding all that gave the scene just a lot of depth, and it makes the scene just like feel bigger. It's just smart. Okay, they probably just didn't have a scrim big enough. Because, I don't know. There might not be a scrim on her. This, because I've never messed with this I can never tell the difference. I can't tell if their faces look like this soft and pretty because it's a scrim. A scrim can achieve the same effect. Like, I'm looking at the highlights on her forehead, and I'm thinking, that looks like the light's being filtered, the sun's being filtered out. But it could also be like a skin softening effect. I've never touched it, and I don't mess with it. I personally don't believe in it. It's basically digitally softening people's skin to make it look nicer. I personally, as an uptight director, I don't I don't do that. So I can't quite tell the difference. But this would be an example of how their main dance scene should look. You can notice the very huge difference in quality just from, especially when you shoot wider. When you shoot wider, your footage will look... When you shoot wide, it's when you can cheat the least because you show everything. And so you can't even get this heavy depth of field, this nice heavy depth of field that you get when you zoom in on people. You don't get any of that, you know? I love her. Who is she? And her. And her. I also like everyone singing. Or maybe it's the song that makes me like her singing. Oh, weird color grading. This is really pink. Oh, I see. Never mind. It was just the calibration on my monitor. Oh. Okay. And here you go. So, how this music video could have looked better, basically, is if they hadn't shot outside. I will say, the outside shots are not terrible. But it would have looked better if, like, you had this. Look at them. They look better. Why? Because there's literally a light on them. There's two lights on them, and there's probably a key light on them as well. So they have 3-point lighting, you know? They have lighting. They have lights on them. It's actually making them pop. They look like idols. That's the difference. I think that's why K-pop has a sort of set visual style, which is idols are not, they're not human. They're kind of superhuman. You know, the things that they can do, the things they can learn on a dime, what they are capable of, especially like the bigger you get, the biggest groups don't even seem human at this point. And I'm not even being hyperbolic. They seem like Olympians, but for music. And, you know, I like that K-pop music videos have always also visually made them look like them, made them look superhuman. And I think even this right here is a good example of that. They look angelic. Look at how the rim light on the side really makes them kind of glow a little bit more. It makes them shine more, especially on her pink hair. My God, the sheen on that looks so nice. But also, the stylist on their team, I think, does a great job with whatever limited stuff they have, because look at the pop of red against this green and the blue floor and the brown background. Most likely they couldn't do anything about the brown wall and maybe the blue floor, but you know, how they color coordinated with everything else was very smart. Did they add the blue floor? You know what? There's a lot of repeating color consistency here. You know, one of the members has blue hair. Her chair has blue. There's blue in the water. Oh, shit. Oh shit, the video's constantly white, blue, yellow here, and then red, yellow, red, yellow, blue here. Oh my gosh, they also have like, yeah, so visually, color scheme wise too, they did a really good job in my opinion. Woo. Woo. See right there, shots like that, especially the camera work right here. This is why I know for sure this was no amateur team. It definitely wasn't a lazy team. Woo! That push in right there. Oh, how many edits did we get? We got like 6 cuts within like 5 seconds. This is a team that is helping this group. They are saving this group. They are really putting quality into this. This literally could not get better other than more money. Ooh. Ooh. That's so fun. Alright, so literally this is probably the only rough part right here. The green screen part right here. I don't know why it looks so rough. Well, it looks like it was... Well, the lighting's too different. She's lit way better than how this scene is actually lit. She was most likely lit inside a green screen studio, so they had like more control and more time. Oh my god. What? I did not expect to come into this video loving it this much. I really loved their debut, but I am way more interested in ILY now. I'm really interested in diving into the label, getting to know the members. Like I said, I really like all the girls. They all pop out to me. And I think what ultimately comes down to is just personality, really. I might even check out content from them. That's how much I really liked both songs. Now, mind you, they're not breaking the mold here. They're not reinventing the genre. They're not doing something crazy and new with the past 2 title tracks. However, it is refreshing, you know? We haven't heard this sound in the mainstream used often in a while. And so, yes, there is a refreshing aspect to it. But 2, they sing. And they sing. And most of these girls, if not all of them, can sing. And so that also helps. It's a very pleasant listening experience, which I really enjoy. And then on that additional level of, as a producer, I look at this and I think, wow, the package is neat and it's efficient. Yes, it's not exactly the most craziest, unique thing I've seen, but it's stable, it's refreshing, and it makes me feel good. It makes me feel happy. Like, none of this... There was nothing being made here that felt like it was being done just for business. Like I don't know, just music is becoming so commercial lately, and people are having comebacks constantly left and right. And so ultimately you're going to be getting more songs. Just people are just doing it to like, why won't you let this group rest? It's like because the companies just want to make money. But I don't know, something about ILY, the way that, and listen, I don't want to get in trouble by complimenting this label, and it turns out they're doing terrible shit. But just from the presentation of their music videos, I think that they are being handled extremely well in that regard. I think literally the only criticism I can give is they just need more money. And that's not even a criticism. It's more of an observation. They need more money. They need more money. I think if they had more money, ILY would kick it even better. I think even better. Like, we're just talking about money for music videos. Man, imagine if they had money for, like, hell, do they have an in-house producer? I have no idea. If they had an in-house producer, like, they seem to have a very strong concept of their sound, but I think they debuted with a single. This comeback is a single. Like, we're not getting B-sides. Money is clearly a problem. And yet, I love so many poor rookie groups. And yet, I think ILY does not strike me as poor. I think they do have some money. And I do think that whatever team that they had on board did a really good job at making full use of that money. And I think they made a fine music video. All right, guys, that is it for ILY1's Sera Sera reaction and review. I'd love to know your thoughts about the song, the music video. Do you agree with my thoughts? Do you disagree? Do you like the song? Do you not like the song? What do you guys think about the music video and how their label is handling their image? Let me know in the comments down below. Of course, if you want to support the channel, please head on over to our Patreon. Over on our Patreon, we react to bonus content. When ILY1 eventually releases an album, we will definitely do... Oh my goodness, that is so terrible. I'm so sorry. We will do a listening party for that over on our Patreon. We also react to bonus content. As I said, we've checked out Girls Planet 999. Right now, we're going back and watching Produce 48 because I've never seen it before. And we react to a whole bunch of other stuff. So come to our Patreon. Come check it out with us. We would love to see you guys there. Of course, you don't have to support us monetarily if you don't want to. Just simply hit the like button down below. Go ahead and subscribe over here, and I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.